Come on in, come on in, come on in, everyone. Let's get it going. We are live once again where we will be doing the analysis. So, the third day completion just happened. Let us have a conversation about it. Let us talk about it. Let us talk about what went right and what went wrong. Let us see and let us hear. We are all here ready. Let us go. Come on in, come on in, come on in. We are here and ready to go. Let us see what is happening. Let us hear what is happening. Let us hear your grouses. Let us hear what it is that you thought went right from what went wrong. So many things, but indeed, tonight, Jamaica is but tonight, indeed, Jamaica is ecstatic because we have actually now looked on the third day and we have just brandished ourselves with our first set of medals. We here in Jamaica would have already counted six for some persons, eight for some persons, and so on. However, we have only gotten three medals. So we want to talk about it. We want to talk about what we just saw and we want to discuss it and we want to share our feelings about it because that's what we do over here and all. So let us go. Good night, good night, good night, good night, everybody. This is your admin, Miss Latoya Clark. I am now joined by the Rasta admin. That is the one and only Jermaine.
Being
So we are gonna be having some great discussion here tonight as we dissect day number 3. Jermaine feel like it is that people need to give him flowers. Him gets him flowers because everybody do their own predictions. Let me just go down in the pathway and say that. But I will never apologize for my prediction. Neither will I apologize for what I think, nor will I apologize for who it is that I chose. If you chose her and you got it, then that is up to you. Don't come at me, my back broad, and I care zero. I call it the way I choose to call it and the way I will keep it that way. Three women, just one, three different medals. Congratulations to Dr. Shelley and Fraser Price. Congratulations to Sharika Jacko Jackson. Congratulations to Dr. Elaine Thompson Ewa for getting the gold, silver, and bronze in that continuation. So you can go ahead, sir.
I'm not asking anyone to apologize. I'm just saying, just give me my credit. I got it perfectly right.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
all.
no, no. Don't say you're not asking anyone to apologize. You blatantly ask for an apology. And I'm
Well,
saying to you that I will never apologize for what it is that I
okay.
think because it is mine. Speak to your
And
people
I'm
then,
saying,
please.
and I'm saying, I'm the only one that got it completely right. I did say I do have Shelley winning because when it comes to the worlds, it's gold or nothing. And her form showed that. I had Sharika getting second because her 21:55 on her winning Jamaica trials that showed it that she was there, and I had Elaine coming for bronze because I don't think there are three people in the world better than Elaine, but I think two of them that are better than her own teammates. And she did not exemplify the form that would have brought that I thought because even leading up to the Olympics last year, you saw where her form was
Exactly,
like.
Travis.
You
Elaine will
saw
say, and
last
it
year.
not change. Simple. Him a film pick. Him is a jacker person. You keep yourself as a jacker person. Me is a alien person. So me I keep myself as an alien person. Bad man don't apologize to nobody for
It's not
what it
about
is that we think.
apologizing.
Now you ask for
Just
an
give.
apology. Hello, own it up. You ask Kino, him not ask for an apology.
Yeah, and he won't get one.
Exactly. Thank you so much. I know him a come and say it's not an apology, man. We want flowers. We not give man flowers on us, so go on with yourself. Oof.
You can give him credit. I got it perfect. I got it in me. I got it exactly
Nah,
right.
get nothing.
And
And nobody come
you
on the
see,
life, come feel like you want to come beat up your body about it. Can me mute you. Let me just tell
but I
you.
got it. Can you guys just say that Jermaine got it right?
Jermaine, let's discuss the race. Thank you so much.
The race went exactly how I said it was going to go. Elaine start is not the way where it's supposed to be. She's not where she was last year, and I told you guys I did not see that confidence in her where she believed she could actually win the way she was last year. I saw Shelly do exactly what Shelly was doing all the year. She literally ran the races and she perfected what she needed to perfect. And I said it, if Jacko gets a start, she's going to be dangerous. And if you watch the race, Jacko had probably one of the best starts I've ever seen her have overall. She had an amazing start for what she usually does. She was actually up there early. And I knew Elaine was never going to be able to catch them because she did not show what she showed last year prior to the Olympics. Because even though she finished third at the Jamaica Trials, you saw leading up to the Olympics she was running very fast times, and you saw that she was getting her stride in. She was not. You never saw that this year. And when I saw the semifinals, I thought she worked a little bit too hard than she needed to. A lot of people said she was easy. I said she was not the easiest of the Jamaicans. Shelly looked very easy because she jogged 10.94. Sharika got out the blocks, maintained her composure, and then shut it down with five. Elaine kind of had to work. And I saw that there was something about her that I knew that I actually, believe it or not, I was saying it to a friend of mine. I was worrying that Elaine was going to not allow us to get the sweep because she was the one that looked the most vulnerable. But I still didn't think that there were three women in the world that could beat her. I think Shelly was on a mission this year, and I said it before even the World Champions that she has a chip on her shoulder, and she believed that she should have won the Olympics last year. Granted, we don't think none of us think that because of the time Elaine ran, she would have won, but she has a chip on her shoulder. And when it comes to the World Championships, that's her playground. It's gold or nothing. That's how she is. That's just my take.
So that's good that you think that. Fine. Nothing is wrong with that.
By the way, I must say before we continue that the St. Thomas people them obvious strong still because as Ansel get him injury, all of a sudden one man fast start. Them work fast, man. Lie. But I'm sure I work like a fast upon the
Jesus.
grant one. I'm sure I work fast upon
Latoya,
the
you're
grant one.
low.
You're not hearing me?
You were very low.
You're hearing me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So Kino, give us your take. Because the people have been asking for you.
I don't know
You know
why the
not gone
people.
away?
I don't know why I haven't been hiding. I was in the group. I was on the live. I still maintain what I said before. A fit Elaine Thompson here can't be beaten. 1067 is not 1054 or 1053. Um, let me just say this. Congratulations to Shelley and Fraser Price. She did her thing. She won. I'm happy that she won. Um, Again, I do echo the sentiments of the commentator who said she's in the argument, even with Bolt and his feat and his achievements as one of the greatest sprinters, 100-meter sprinters of all time. So I'll give her that. But I still maintain that had Elaine been fully fit, because and Jermaine just said it himself a while ago that she didn't look herself. Um, I thought that coming into the heats, she looked a little bit better because we saw where she eased down a little bit. In the semifinals, I will admit that she had to work a little bit more than I would have wanted her to. Um, Also, if you go back and look in the chat, when they introduced her in the finals, I did say she doesn't have that smirk of that confident look that Elaine usually has. I
I
did
saw it from
say
the press
that.
conference.
And well, I didn't see that in the press conference. There was nothing in the press conference. I don't know what you were looking for. But anyway, congrats to Elaine, to Shelley, congrats to Sharika. As a matter of fact, I remember saying last night on the live, and I don't know if Latara can pull it up. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be on the page. I said, if Elaine loses this 100-meter, she is not going to win the 200. I went as far as saying that last night. So it's not a case where it wasn't said. And there was always the if she is fit, she can't be beaten or fully fit. A fully fit and you can quote me. You can look for the quotes everywhere, even on the race state. That's what I said. A fully fit Elaine can't be beaten. That's what I'm saying. I'm not finding
What I
excuses, but I'm. Hold on, Jeremy. You had your time, but I'm saying
no
a
man,
fully
I'm
fit
listening.
Elaine can't be
My
beaten.
dog don't talk.
Um, Not taking anything away from Shelly, and she ran really well, got out of the blocks really well, put pressure on the field. Um, what? If you analyze the race carefully, you will see that Elaine never really came back at them. She didn't really come back at them. She didn't even come back at Sharika. So that top end, that top e- that top end that we are used to, it never kicked in. It wasn't there. So what we need to figure out now, or what Elaine needs to figure out, if is did she not get enough training time in because of that injury, or two, did she make the right decision with regards to coaching? The argument about coaching can be easily rebutted because we knew that before Elaine, it was announced last year that she left the Stephen Francis led camp, that she was already training with her husband. And arguably, her husband would have had some hand in her achievements last year. So, what caused this? No, I I have to say it's just not being fully fit. That's the only thing I can say. You know, she's just not where she was last year in terms of fitness. Um, would she have beaten Shelley and Fraser Price if she was fully fit? I believe so, because again, 10:53 is not 10:67. However, we have seen Shelley and Fraser Price run 10:67 what, three times this year? So we're not taking anything away from Shelley. Excellent, excellent, excellent performance by Shelley. Excellent performance by Sharika at 10:73.
By getting a new personal best also. Let us
Right,
say that. A
right,
new personal best. So congratulations
right.
to Sharika
And
for
and
running a 10:73 outside of Jamaica, because some persons had it that 10:77 that she ran here at Jamaica wasn't anything. So congratulations, Draco, on that one.
2 points, two quick points. Number
No,
one,
Kina
I
never
did
done. Kina
say,
never done. Sorry, me just add to him something. Kina never done.
oh,
no, I'm basically finished. I really don't have anything more to say. I'm not one to back away from my predictions. I stand by them. I'm not about giving flowers. Jermaine got it right. So kudos to Jermaine. I don't think it's anything special about Jermaine. Why
Not
he
thing
like
got
is,
it right.
thing.
But he got it right.
all I'm
He
saying is
just got it right.
there are two things that I think was mentioned, and this is not bragging, no, this is literally two things I've come to observation. I have said that Sharika runs her PB, runs faster outside of the nationals after the trials. So the 1073 wouldn't have been a surprise because she tends to run faster when she gets to the championships. I did say that. I said it on our show. I said it on Race Take. I also mentioned about a week ago the Frano influence is a big deal. And I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of Stephen Frano Francis. And I think even if Frano never had 100% say, he had some say in how Elaine was dealt with last year. And I think not having him this year was a
But
big
that's down to
mistake.
speculation, though, Jermaine,
No, but I'm saying,
because
but
we
we saw
knew
it.
that
But last year
weeks.
we saw it.
No, but we knew
We
that
saw it.
weeks. We knew that weeks before it was announced that she left MVP. I knew that she was training with her husband. Like, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even weeks. It was possibly months. She was training with her husband. She was no longer using Steven's program, right? So the on the face of it, because of the public relations, they didn't really want to say anything, and then there were some contractual things that they needed to deal with. But her preparation last year was by and large by her husband. Now, again, there are two things that Elaine will have to look at going forward. is it a good matchup? And she might look back at it and say, but my husband trained me last year and I was able to run 10:53. Um, so what could have caused me now to be third? And if she is willing to stick with her husband, I think the logical thing that she's going to conclude is that her fitness was just not where it was last year. Granted, she had some injuries or she had some injury concerns early in the season. No, um, is is that taking anything away from Shelly Ann's win? No, nothing at all. If you're able to replicate 1067 three times in one season, nobody can say nothing about that. I mean, absolutely no one can say anything about that. So we're giving Shelly her flowers. So I'm not here to talk down Shelly, even though you want to see me run my joke about wig and whatever and whatever. She ran a good race.
Gary, does it
She,
matter
you
what
know,
month? Sorry, to cut it. Gary, does it matter what month she transitioned to her husband last year? The fact of the matter is, she transitioned to her husband last year. Um, it came out
it came out long after
eventually.
it happened.
It does.
Why does she
It
transitioned
actually
to her
does because
husband?
what I think Gary,
Mhm.
no, what I'm saying that is why Gary mentions that is this: if her program was designed by Stephen, say up until from January till about March, and she left Stephen in April, there's a lot of work that Stephen did between January and March, or from October to March, versus
January and March,
if
between January and March is background training for
no,
any
but I'm saying
athlete.
even then, no, I'm no, but even then, what Stephen does, we all know Stephen does is he tailors his background training specific to his athlete. And even if she left the camp, say in April, the work that was done from October till March still would have had some part in her development. All I'm saying is I'm not saying Stephen was 100% behind it, but he had some say at some point. This year was her first year without any Stephen Francis input, her first full season without it. And I'm not going to blame the injury because we've seen Elaine not be 100% and still perform. All I'm saying is there is something that is missing this year that was there last year, and it is quite obvious. And because of that, that's why I made the prediction.
But
After
the
I
only
went I
thing it
saw
could be though,
Elaine.
Jermaine, is fitness. It really couldn't be anything else because if the argument is, listen what you're saying, if the argument is that her husband got her to a particular point last year to 1070 to 1053. This year, she's still training with her husband. The only difference was that she was injured this year. It must be a lack of fitness or that her fitness level is not back where it's supposed to be. Perhaps she missed some training time. She said in an interview that she wasn't able, she needed to unwind and blah, blah, blah. I mean, as somebody said it in the comment a while ago, you will never know because Elaine is not going to come out and say it. Elaine
But what I'm
herself
saying
is going
though,
to give Shelly and her
mhm.
flowers. She's not going to come out and say, I didn't win because of my injury. That's not her. She's not going to do that, right?
But what
But
I'm saying,
it,
Kino,
it
is that
calls for speculation.
one of the things Stephen Francis has been quoted in saying is he always says, "I train my
Exactly,
athletes for the season to
the
come."
top end is a miss. It wasn't there. She didn't come back at them. As a matter of fact, Dina Asher Smith
No,
almost ran her down. The top end wasn't
mhm.
there. So something. Look here, Jeremy, and you. Let's think about this logically. You have somebody who ran 10:53 last year. This year she's only no in this final she ran 10:81. Not coming back to a Shelley and Fraser Price or even a Sharika, not coming back at them with that top end speed that you know that she has when she is fully fit. Something must be
but there's
wrong.
so
And it
but
has
what I'm
to be
saying to you is
fitness.
but what I'm saying to you, Kino, I use a quote all the time, and you've heard me say this. And I actually got this from Steve Francis. He says, I train my athletes for the next season. So whatever you see them doing this year is for the following season. I think not having her last year or for the better part of some of last year did affect how she operates this season versus having her in 2020 where he knew he could gauge her going for the season forward. That race. The
So
best top
here
end in that race was actually Shelly and Fraser Price, believe it or not. because guess what? Shelly and Sharika were almost side by side. Shelly was the one that started to pull away from Sharika. And you heard when Gail Divas, which I don't agree with a lot of what she said, but you heard Gail Divas say the amount of 200 that she's been doing, you're seeing it now reflecting her races where she's not dying anymore. Sharika is known for her topping and her endurance. Shelly started to pull from her. Granted, she could have lost that race because when she started to lift up her, and I don't think she realized that Sharika was that close to her. But you saw her pulling from Sharika. It was neck and neck between her and Sharika for the most part. So much so that the commentator thought it was Elaine Thompson because we know Elaine for having that top end. All I'm saying is there's we all admit there is something wrong with Elaine's training schedule. And that's why I said at the beginning of the predictions, I said I have Elaine for third, and I believe she's going to get a clean sweep of the medals going home because I don't see two persons better than her, but the two Jamaican, three persons better than her, but the two Jamaicans, I believe, with the chip that is on Shelly's shoulder, and Sharika now being Project MVP, I believe that they are ahead of where Elaine is. And you may not have seen it, and many people may not have looked at it, but I look at little things with people when I see them talk or I see them stuff. And Elaine's whole verbatim, her emotions, her eyes, her how confident she spoke, it wasn't as confident as last year. Even when she was injured last year and she said, you know what, she's just going through the process, she just wanted to qualify, she was this, she was that. You heard that tone of certainty and confidence with her last year. That this year, when she's saying, I just want a medal, versus last year, she says, I'm going all out on the track or I'm leaving it in the Olympics or the Olympics is the final thing. You heard the difference. And it is the subtle things that she says or does not say that made me go, listen, she ain't beating those two girls because these two girls were really big. They were confident and you saw it in them, right? I am proud for Elaine, don't get me wrong, because at one point this year I didn't even have her to medal, but then I started to remember who she is. She's Elaine Thompson era. So I give her credit for that. But I do agree with you, when Elaine is in tip top shape, she's the most difficult person in the world to beat. I believe she can be beaten, but you're going to take something special to beat her. But I do believe that she's not where she is. Now, I hope she comes out with that 200-meter and goes all out on the track and comes second because I really want her to get that silver medal. But like I said, Sharika is not losing at 200-meter.
I agree. I agree. Given the fact that she is, I don't agree. I don't agree that it's a training schedule, but I do agree that she's not as fit as she was last year. So I maintain my original point. A fit Elaine can't be beaten, and this is no excuse. This is just reality. We have seen it, and we have seen it several times. But I do agree as well that the other two are ahead of her. I don't know if Shelly is going to run the 200. Um, I have Sharika winning that 200 meter. Um,
I still don't have Shelly medaling in the 200. Okay.
I have
If she
Sharika
runs it.
winning that. I have Sharika winning that 200 meter, and I have at this point I'm gonna say I have Asha Smith for second. I don't have Elaine for second because of what I saw tonight. That finishing, that speed endurance is just not there. It's just not there. The fitness level is just not the same. So I'll concede on that point that I think, whilst I'm seeing Asha Smith run herself into shape, I'm seeing Elaine, just there. By her own standards, what Elaine did tonight, 1081, is average.
Exactly.
I don't think anybody can disagree with that. By her own standard, what she did tonight was average. Kudos to her for getting that bronze medal. She seemed pleased, with that
Because
performance.
she's never had a world championship
You
medal.
know, um, she didn't get one in 2015.
As in the 100-meter, I'm talking.
Oh,
She doesn't have a
okay,
100-meter
Can
medal.
you
right.
guys hear my TV?
I'm
Shelly
listening to
just
it, by the way. I'm actually listening to it.
Shelly just speak. Okay, you're listening to it. All right, then. Cool. Go ahead. Continue.
But here's my question to you, though, Keena, and not all if you do here. My question to you guys is this. Um, with what we see so far, and what do we see? I think we all have it that Sharika is probably the favorite in the 200 meters going forward.
Well, yeah, I
Do
didn't even
we?
remember about Abby Steiner. She's probably in there. For I don't even know now. I really don't even know because Dina seems to be rounding into shape. Abby, we all know is there and is going to challenge one of those top three spots. Um, I don't know if the Elaine that we saw tonight is going to medal in that 200. It remains to be seen because I think 21.5 or 21.6 may win that 200. Third place may have to run 21.7 something. And is she even in that shape? 10.8 is probably mid 21.7, 21.75 thereabout. So who knows? Who knows? Perhaps she's running herself into shape too. But I'm just talking based on what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing that finishing speed. I'm not seeing that top end. Um, One of the things, though, I will say is you can never count out champions. VCB in 2015
That bronze medal
went
from the two.
went into that 200. Well, before the 200-meter finals, her season's best was 22.7.
Mm-hmm.
She went into that semifinals and ran 22.4 and made it as one of the fastest losers and ran the finals out of lane two.
Fastest loser. Two.
Nobody thought that VCB would have medaled, and VCB, based on that, how I view that race, came off the turn ahead of Elaine and ahead of Daphne. So we can't count out Elaine, but the fact still remains, you know, it's she's not where she wants to be or she would have been last year. Can she get there by the end of the season? Yes. Can she get back there? Yes. Is she still one of the best sprinters in the world? Of course. She was just third in one of the best fields assembled anywhere with
Oh,
what five
let us not
five
forget
people going under 10 seconds?
seven. But let
Seven
us not
people going
forget
under 10.5.
in the last
10, 10, 95.
let us not let us not also forget the last two championships. The championship record was broken. The last two championships, both championship records are broken. The Olympic record is broken, and the World Championship record is broken. And I am glad for Shelley to get that record because it would really look a way to have 5 World Championship gold medals and don't at least have the championship record for the World Championships. So I'm glad that she got that. Here's what my take is though. I think my thing with Elaine though, I think now is mental, and I'm gonna say this why. If if I think if Elaine comes out with an anger that I know like somebody like a Sharika would have or a Veronica Campbell would have, I think she goes into that 200-meter and walk away with a silver medal. If she comes out with that anger, like I'm better than this bronze medal,
I
I think
think
she comes out with silver medal.
we're too quick to talk about. I see people throwing this mental thing. I think for me that is with due respect to you, Jermaine. I think that is utter garbage. I don't think Elaine has any mental issues. I just think
I'm
it's
not saying that she has mental issues. I'm
um.
saying if she
I
develops
don't
if
think
she
she's in
develops
her
that
head,
anger,
and I don't think she. I
I'm not,
don't.
I'm not saying
I,
I'm
I
not saying
think
she's in her head either. I'm just saying if I'm not saying she's a weak sport. Don't get me wrong. I am just saying if she flips that switch and becomes that angry Elaine that we've never seen because nobody's ever seen that, where she just comes out looking. You remember when Usain Bolt first started in the 100-meter in Daegu, and you
Mhm.
saw he locked off from the world, and he was like, nobody is getting this 200-meter. If Elaine goes into one of those moods, she comes out with a silver medal because I think her better event is the 200 meters. And I think if she goes
I
with
don't
that,
think her better event is the 200 this season.
I'm not saying this.
Based on the 200s that I've seen her run, I wouldn't say that. What I am seeing is a Elaine who gets to 170 meters and struggles to the line. That's what I'm seeing. So the speed endurance is not there. However, the science will tell you that if an athlete runs 10.8, the possibility exists that that same athlete can run 10.7 there about 21.7 there about 21.7 high, right? So I don't think there will be three people running faster than 21.7 in that
Exactly.
200-meter final,
Like I
right?
said, the track is
So
not as
she's
fast
in
as
with
many
a
people think
shout
it
as
is.
right. She's in with a shout. Yeah, that is something that I have to concede on because I've been saying that for years that this Eugene track is very fast. It is not proven to be very fast. I don't know.
It's not very fast.
I think it's just the I don't know what the US athletes do when it comes championship, why they run so fast. I don't know if them bitch up something or something, but it's not proven to be very fast because if that track was as fast as we thought it was, then Shelley would have run 10-5
10-6-1.
low.
It
You
can be
know,
fast.
so she's still in with a shout. Can we get two medals out of the 200? Yes, we can. Um, um, Elaine's finishing is my concern now because Abby Steiner finishes very strongly. So Elaine's finishing is my concern. That's the only concern that I have. I've not seen too many 200 meters from Asha Smith this year, but she's running 10.8 as well, right? So
But you see, there's a difference between run. For example, like I say, Shelly and Fraser can run 10-6 in her sleep right now. Literally, that's what she's doing. Does it mean she's going to translate that to 21-7? I don't think so. So
you
just
know,
because Dina Asha is running 10-8, it doesn't mean she's going to transition that into
it
21-7,
doesn't
21-8.
necessarily mean, but I'm just speaking based on what the science says. If you run a particular time in the 100-meter, it is likely that you will run this time in the 200. And that is what the science says. That is what the coaching science says. So that is where I'm coming from with it. Will it stand up to this test? Because I mean, by by and large, Shelley is really Shelley is defying all odds. When I went to do my training, they told you that you peak at 26.
Them days are done, man.
At age 26, Shelley is what 35,
No, but we're
and
seeing it across all sports.
she's getting better.
LeBron
Exactly,
James is playing great at 37. Tom Brady's winning
exactly,
Super Bowls at 40 odd.
exactly,
Age don't mean
exactly.
nothing now.
So just a point to note,
You're low, Latte.
Just a point to note, all three ladies say they will just be going home now, flush out themselves, flush out the system, eat little food, eat some fruits, and
And
ready
come
to
back
go.
for the 200.
All three
The
ladies.
200, I think the 200 is tomorrow. The
All
heats are
three
tomorrow.
ladies. The heat is tomorrow. All three ladies say they are ready to go. When tomorrow come for it. Sharika Jackson says answered the question that was asked to her, being that she had promised something great in the 200 at the Jamaica trials. What say she? And she said yes, because it is her better event, the one that she loves. Expect great things to come from that. Shirley Fraser Price says, you all know that 200 is not her strength. However, it is one that challenges her and she is up and ready for the challenge. Elaine Thompson Eva says she is happy that she is on the podium for the first time, being a part of a world championship, being up on the podium, and therefore she will go home, get ready for the 200s come tomorrow. So all three ladies will be out there come tomorrow for the 200. Do we want to take Justin? Why the dog the ruffles bad? Why the fiddle ka ba wala na bagay na mainasonda din na Jermaine ang kulang digim pisay buwan. Do we want to talk about the coincidence of
I
an
like a beanie something.
I think
It's unfortunate. I think it's just the most unfortunate thing to happen. And the funny thing is, this is the second time something like this is happening to him. I don't know if you guys remember the national
it's an
trials
injury
when he
that
was
he
in the
has been
warm up
struggling
zone.
with.
no, it's
Yeah,
not. But when you
it's
when
the
I
same
watch,
injury.
No,
it's the same injury. But
no,
when I
but what
watch
I'm
the
saying is,
replay,
if you remember the World Championship, I think it was 2019 or one of those, or 2017.
17.
He was in the warm up area and he was in very good shape and he tweaked something again the same evening and couldn't run. He comes out, he looks good in the semifinals, and I say this: had he run, he would have won. He comes out, he's going over the first hurdle, then he hits his knee on the second hurdle, and then it's out. I think that is the most
But hitting
unlucky
his knee
thing
on
to
the
happen.
second hurdle wasn't the problem. Is how the trail leg came
Snap,
down,
right?
It's
Snap,
calf.
snap.
how, and that is why we keep saying when it is that we are dealing with the hurdles event, we have to get that focus, that intentional focus in. We have to be at that place because the hurdles 90% of the time always win. If you are
Here's
technique, go ahead.
sorry, Latoya. Sorry to cut you off. You want to finish your point?
No, go ahead, darling.
Here's what I think happened. Um, Hansel Parchment realized that there were himself, Grant, Devon, and who was the other guy?
True, true.
Trey were basically in the same range in from the coming out of the semifinals. Ansel knew that his he knew that his weakness is his start, and those guys
That's
would
what
have.
he was working on.
I think Hansel probably went back around to the back. Said to his coach, Coach, when I go out there, I'm gonna just give it one more. I mean, they all do that run out, but I think he probably just in his mind, he probably said, even if he not said to him, Coach, in his mind, he's probably saying, "All right, I really need to get up with these guys to win." What if you look at the stats though?
Answer always come from there.
1303, 1303, 1. Ansel ran 1302 in the
Him
semifinals.
ran him jog 1302. Because after him finished the last hurdle, him just shut off.
1302. He
Me
would
not gonna lie,
not
me not gonna
he
lie to you,
would
but if he
not
like
have
say,
been beaten.
me not
He
gonna lie
would
I
to
not
you,
said
but
it.
have
if
He
been
he
wouldn't
like
have
beaten.
been
say,
beaten.
but if he like say that hurt is that if it does never run.
But as I say,
But
the St. Thomas people them work fast
oh
because
God,
I
man, me
mean
tell us, me say Nanny just jump up. Nanny of the Maroons
how
jump
I
out
have
her grave.
never seen someone false start 1,000th of a second.
No, but the
One
thing is,
thousandth of a second.
no, but the thing is 2 person do we a three first start to having
I submit to you though. I submit this. And this is just me positing a thought here. Had it been
Don't do it.
had it
Don't do
had it
it.
hold on.
Don't
You
do
see,
it.
if them never removed those two girls before, had they let them
Alan would have
run,
run.
Alan
Alan
would
would
have
have run.
run.
No, no,
But
not
them no
no,
say I would have been hell.
no, not no. Let me tell you. I submit to you though that what's her name?
Gaither.
Gaither.
Gaither. Gaither. Gaither disappointed me. Why? Let me say this. When it is that it them say she, I am here saying, go challenge you, mama, go challenge you, go challenge you. And she did. I'm like, yes, yes. Did you realize though that if she had stood at the side, they ended up came back and won the field after her contention.
No, you give a feeder warning after a false
No
start
man,
regardless.
the field would have been under warning. So
No, no,
She
once
no.
gets
But
a
someone
warning,
but
false
yeah.
didn't you
starts,
hear the
everybody's
commentator
under
that they were
warning.
calling her back? The commentator
No,
said it, you know. He
they were
said it.
calling her back.
He said it.
They weren't calling her back to go back into the race. They were calling her back because of her protest, and they wanted to show her the evidence that she was
No,
again.
she went to no
Because
man. She go over there, go look on that already and the debate that
Look
already and
here,
everything.
my
And it
girl,
come
a
back
cuss
and
go
then the
all the
guy
way on that tunnel, because even when she on
exactly
that tunnel, she up in her man face, I
she
say.
up in at the man. Had it been that she had stayed out there when what's her name Owen come up,
I don't agree with you, Latoya. I
if
don't
them the
think
next
that
she
would
go
have
back
been
into
the
then no other
reason.
body wouldn't get fast start.
I don't think that would have been the reason for them to perhaps approach her again, because I think her going over to what you do is to go over there and look at the actual reaction times. That's the only
right,
thing
that's
that the,
exactly
the
right.
officials can show you, the
Yeah, but
reaction times. And as an athlete, you would know what is um too
the
fast a
reaction too
reaction
fast.
time. You
Dave
would
said
know
she go
that.
like say
So they
she got
showed
have
it
a
to
draft.
her, but she was still protesting, because I heard her saying it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. That's what I
Because
heard
for
her
me it
saying.
seems
As she named Shaggy.
No, good. It look like should have said like should have call somebody's name. I
I
mean,
actually thought it was. I actually just by looking, I actually thought it was Sharika. Just by looking, I actually thought it was Sharika.
Let me tell
my
you.
beer
Let me tell
eye.
you why.
However,
I
No,
the
my beer
system
eye.
says differently.
here's the
And then
thing. I thought it was
when she
Sharika.
was cussing, there couldn't be nobody's name she fi call. So when she a cuss no and she a say, Anna me, I did. Me say, I can't, you know, my say, I can't name the sugar call.
Can
Here's
I
the
ask
thing.
a
I thought
question
it
though,
was
Jermaine?
Sharika, but then I
Why couldn't
realized.
she, why
Mhm.
couldn't she
What
run
on
on the
the
protest?
him thought to a Sharika, go on. Come, wait,
Now I'm
tell
going to
me.
say I thought it was Sharika, but then when I looked at it, I was like, it's not Sharika. It's just that Sharika actually had a good start for the first time
Okay.
because there wasn't much to see in the protest.
It was there wasn't much to see of the naked eye. But what
Why couldn't she run on the protest? Because I remember saying it and
Right?
somebody got what does the rule say? I
You
don't
can
remember.
run. You can no. You can run on the protest when the evidence is inconclusive. In the
Because
case that there is an automatic react, that's why they put in the automatic
so
reaction
so
now
so so so
because
so so all right. So
I think they have removed
I'm
no,
just
I
trying to
think they have
remember
removed that
exactly what the
rule.
rule said. I think you're right, Jermaine.
No, but
So
I think
so
they have
so
removed that rule.
no man, no, the rule stands. It's
you can run on a protest, but
you
only if the evidence is inconclusive.
if it is so close that
Right.
all
So,
right. So
so for
so had
example,
she
that's
gone
why
over
Akeem
there.
Blake. All right, if you remember when Akeem Blake ran on the protest and ran the 992, it was because there was no electronic blocks. So the
I,
evidence of it was not
I,
conclusive.
I think we
So
need.
he could run on the protest.
Check on that. I think it was amended though.
No, I know that you can run. All right.
Somebody also asked the
So
question. Which
initially
question?
you're able to run on the protest, as Jermaine said, if it is inconclusive. With the upgraded equipment, I know that there were some amendments made. I don't know the exact wording of
But
those
remember, we've had
rules.
3 races this year that people have run on the protest. So
And
it's
that's
not
what I'm
like
saying.
the
I
rule
think
was
we could just. I think nothing beats us to go and clarify.
nothing. No, we
It's
can.
easy to clarify. Easy to
Yeah.
clarify. Yeah,
Right?
you can just go
But
look at
but
on the
running
IAAF
but one of the
rules.
things I know is that you can't run on the protest in certain events
Right.
because it
That's
will
I think.
definitely
And
it
I
will
think World
change it.
Championship
So
is
for
one.
example, right, so in
I
a
think
Grand
World
Prix you can
Championship
run
is
on the
one.
protest because it
And
doesn't
therefore
affect any
Olympics would
the
be the
outcome.
next.
But in a World Championship or Olympics or an international meet, the outcome of that protest affects the outcome of running on a protest. Or if you run on a protest, it affects the outcome. What do I mean by that? Say she runs on the protest and comes second and runs 1097, right? The person who comes third in that race would have come second and qualified automatically. Now that they've come third, you can't automatically promote them to second. So they would miss out on a fastest loser, just what I'm saying. So what they do is that they eliminate it from international events. So you can't run on the protest on the international events because if you go on run on the protest and something happens, it can automatically change the complete structure of the racing of everything, and it will take too much time to fix over and over
Okay,
again.
so basically, I don't know who this person is commenting right now. Well, Gary is saying that you can only run under protest if the equipment is believed to be defective, um, and not working properly.
Yeah,
Um, Interesting, because the commentator said in Allen's case, perhaps he's going to run under protest. He said it several times. He's probably arguing because he's going to run under protest.
But then they realized that
I
they never was gonna start that race
they
unless him
didn't
come.
even
Exactly.
entertain him.
remember, the
Um,
officials know the rules better than the athletes. So sometimes what will happen is that the rules are amended, and athletes don't know the new rules.
That's
So
why
they will say, "Okay, I'm running on the protest," but the
I
IWF
have
says
been
you can't do it at
consistent
championships
over
anymore.
here. That's why
I'm
consistently
going to
over
have to
here.
look at that rule because I know it how Jermaine knows it.
Right, but
That
I think it was amended that it cannot be done in certain
In a major
championships
championship,
such as
it
World
does too much.
Championship and Olympic.
It
because
does too much. It does too much to changing up the whole structure. If you run, like I said, if you run on a protest and you get second place, then now the person who gets who comes third, who would have been an automatic qualifier, now has to go based on a timing system because you're going to have to run the race, or either you're going to run the race over again and it's going to cause one whole heap of problem, and whole heap of timing, and whole heap of this and that. So them say, will they make it?
and in this case, like how you just a dash it like a piece of paper on you, so dash it paper.
I,
Exactly.
I,
Don't be too much. So them look.
you know, in Alan's case, I will just say Masagalagan
They should,
and I'll leave it right
the
there.
center must people them. So basically, what I must say is, if the American favorite, if the Jamaican favorite get the court, then the American favorite forget the court too. There should be no sweeping on the part
Look
of
here, let me tell you
like
something,
No,
center
but
man.
I
Me
must
know
say,
center
somebody
must keep
said
them
the
nice.
more people said that precisely the moment them is a part you can't do it now do
every
it.
candle light at St. Thomas. Every candle. Black candle, red candle.
Every can go there.
What you say? What you
Them
say?
not allow another one.
Look at it.
What you say? What you say? Inside the can't them the line
If
out
you
of the
lucky about never turn back at him.
what you say? Can't them the line out that doesn't match and the match the
But
line.
every candle light at
Hey,
St. Thomas, man. No,
and
no,
you
good
them did
St.
hear the
Thomas
news that if
people.
them did hear the news that if them did hear the news that 20 minutes earlier, you see how Grant Alloway drop over the hurdle. Actually, were right before the race was the answer here. If actually were right before the race was the answer.
But
St.
say,
Thomas people them ready man.
them the people they don't rap with them, the people they want them. The candle light, black candle light, long time. I John the Conqueror.
But anyway, guys, because I have to go because I have work in the morning. But today was very
What you say?
eventful. I
You are
think
working
tomorrow
on
is
morning? Or what?
another
What
day
you
that
say?
is.
You say you are working on morning. What you say about me? Me are working
No,
on
no,
morning.
no. It's sad.
What do you guys
So
think? I want to get your
Let me
views
just have a
because
go one.
I want to get your views.
I just
My
say
battery is going quick, but I want to get your views about the So Kenya lodged a protest and then withdrew it after they reviewed the video evidence
for
with the
Giddy.
Gide and Obiri incident. What are your views? Because
The touch from
when
Giddy was
I saw
the
it
touch
when the
from Giddy
race
was
was,
norm. It's norm for me. The touch from the little of
you
it from
thought it
Giddy.
was you thought it was a norm.
Yeah, I mean, 50, them race that consist of
Had
them. So they
had I been her coach, I would have protested as well. But after watching it back, it's just the norm. It's just the norm. Um, yeah, it really wasn't nothing. No, no, that one back in the day when the man slapped the man in the back.
no man, and I'm back at me. But one day, remember one day, 2-1 did a run and him slap him, drip him up basically, and dash him up.
Yeah,
It was, I mean,
yeah,
that Giddy one was, yeah, it
yeah.
was.
It was it. You couldn't make a call on it that it was really, because of the running action. You couldn't really make a call that it was deliberate.
Yeah,
So
because
I
of
think
those.
that's why the Kenyans themselves just said,
Should I
make it go on.
happy bones?
Yeah, make it
Watch
go
your
on, make
bones.
it go on.
Should I watch your bones? Somebody said something earlier that they need Brianna Williams in them heat and then finals because I will came back. What happened to
All
Kemba?
right. So I'm gonna concede now, and this is where I'm gonna take my knocks.
And them say you must make up before by one team.
Having seen what I've seen with Kemba Nelson now, and I said it before that Kemba wouldn't have made the finals. I said that from day one. But having seen what I've seen, I would run Brianna in the
For
heats
what?
and in the finals, in both. I would run Brianna in the heat because I think she is a little bit more consistent and a little less heady.
Reliable.
A little less heady. She not up here,
Reliable.
so she
Use the
not
word reliable.
unreliable. She not
She not reliable. She unreliable.
no, I think she's a little bit more reliable than a Kemba. So
Oh,
I
oh,
would
I thought you were talking. Kemba is not reliable.
no. Based on what I've seen, I don't think they're gonna do it. I really don't think they're gonna do it. Um,
Listen, remember, said the girl, the girl is home.
Who is
The girl
whom?
is home. Remember, second, but the woman, she Oregon dog.
Oh,
She's home.
okay, yeah, yeah.
She's
I
home, and
don't.
again, if it is that they do it, I don't think we're gonna hear the end of the story. Remember, I who has proved herself, Dave?
Yeah, Brianna has proven herself a
Well,
better.
okay. Dale said also a better starter. Dale, are you talking that? Are you saying that Brianna is a better starter? And Dave says she proved herself. She who has proved herself. Okay, so Dave said Brianna is a better starter. No, Brianna proven herself. So Dave, yes, we know that Brianna has proven herself because Brianna got to start that relay last year. However, I will say just one thing as it relates to that. But what I'm going to say doesn't denote that I am saying Kemba should be the starter. However, what I want to say is that we won't know um Kemba if we don't give her a try. Because we never know Brianna until we give her a try.
All right, so
And
so
and,
so
and when we
go ahead, Latoya. Go ahead.
give her a try is because she earned her spot. We know that the persons now, the contingent now, if they're in Eugene, Oregon, won't do what we are asking or what we would want to see happen to use Brianna in the heats and the finals. Because if that happen, we're not gonna hear the end of it. Why? As I was saying earlier, Kemba, we know say not gonna happen, but as I was saying earlier, Kemba is at home and she feels to me like she have something to prove. And I feel like Kemba also have up the J3 organization for what happened last year because she have said it more than once that she
Felt slighted.
exactly. So now if it is that this team just once make the mistake and say sorry. They never say sorry and now run the finals, Just sorry. She gonna blow up.
Um, I'm no, I'm not a Brianna Williams fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think everybody knows that. However, we have to give Caesar what is due to Caesar. Kevin Nelson came fourth in the trials. Was it fourth or third? Third.
Second,
Um, second. See all of that too. Yeah, 1088,
Brianna
second.
came fourth.
Yeah, second.
Mine, mine, mine
Tired me,
company have
tired me,
mine
tired me.
company have to go represent you.
Me I tell us I me don't have sitting there watching all
Remember,
day
but
today.
mine company
It's
have to
sun
represent
in my
you.
brain. um, Kemba came to Eugene with, you know, huge expectations. I wasn't one of them who thought that she would have done very well. I said it that she wouldn't make the finals because after that heat, it wasn't the same Kemba. Where was that 1088? You know, where was that 1088? You know, um, if we're gonna measure Kemba against Brianna in terms of consistency, Brianna is a little bit more consistent. Brianna is a little bit more consistent, whether we like her, yes or no, whether we are a
Well, no
fan,
little
yes or
more,
no.
no little more.
She is way more consistent.
When you said the start,
The start, she a PB every year, all of those things, and she stays within that range. You understand what I say? So every year, if it's even 100th of a second, she get a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster, and that start is a killer start. I'll dare say that Brianna Williams' start rivals that of even Shelley. I've seen Brianna start better than Shelley in races where Shelley and
Brianna,
Brianna are together.
hello. Brianna Williams for me, Brianna Williams start for me is in the category of Tiana Bartoletto.
Yep, yep.
Brianna Williams is a Tiana Bartoletto starter. Pocket Rocket got it, had it, have it, but Brianna Williams is Tiana Bartoletto.
Bartoletta, yeah,
Anybody remember Tiana Bartoletto on that first leg there for US? Remember Martelena?
yeah. I
Any team
agree.
a
I
win?
agree.
Any team
I
a win
agree.
because at the second, third, and fourth leg. But
Yeah.
nothing no beat Bartoletto.
I've seen Brianna in races with Shelly and Elaine, and them have to
And
catch
still go
her.
time blocks.
Them,
No,
them
but
catch her. Them have to catch her down a 40, 50 meters.
no, ma, last
Yeah.
year, trials. This year trials again.
This year, Charles again.
Exactly. If Brianna is a Shelly, remember, no, Shelly had the start and never had the finish. And this year, she said it. I was working on my finish. If Brianna can get somebody in our camp or away from our coach to train with that will push her, and if Brianna can get the finish, some little tap and speed with that little, short self, she will be great.
All right.
Taller than
So
what she is.
I'm gonna give you, since you asked, I'm gonna say again. Um, know that I am not. So this is what I think J3s will do, and the team managers. I think they're gonna run Kemba in the heats and Brianna in the finals. I think they're gonna do that. However,
But that is
um,
dependent. That is dependent. Remember, 4 by 1 can change too. That is. But if they're running, if you're saying that they're sitting, if they're gonna sit out Brianna in the heats, how will that work? It's two change, and the person from the 200, being that all three ladies will be running the 200, is more likely to be the person who don't
who else is
make
in the pool? Six of them in
Natalia
the
White.
pool.
The four, Brianna and I think is Natalia White.
So it's Shelly, Elaine, Sharika, Brianna, Kemba, and Natalia White.
Yeah.
Um, tricky. Okay. um,
The
wow.
only way they can do that, is if Shelly, Sharika, and Elaine said, okay, I will take one for the team. What do I mean by that? The person who though goes to the final, or the person final in terms of the 200, or the person
All
who,
three women will be in the final at 200.
or that's what I'm now saying, or the person who favor less in the 200, for me, would be a part of the heaps. The only way they cannot decide to run Brianna is if one of the top two persons out of that 200 now, whether it be, for example, here, if it is that Elaine favor less in the 200, then we would put her, and then Shelly or Sharika would have to decide, say, all right, let us take one for the team. I will go,
All right,
right?
here my take,
And
Latoya.
therefore Brianna gets to sit, or
Here my take.
whichever other way.
I don't think there is any way Shelly's gonna go out there and run the heats at that 4 by 1. Shelly's not gonna run it. Not at age 35, not after winning that 100 meter with all of that clout that comes with it. Um, and I don't think them can even approach Elaine for ask her. She ever tell them no. I
Then we're
think
go-
this.
then the
I
then the
think. I think. I think they're gonna. I think. I think. I think they'll probably run Kemba in the heat. Kemba, Natalia, Brianna, and Sharika. Those are
okay.
the four I think they will run.
And who you take out? So then therefore now they take out. You're saying take out Kemba and Natalia and replace them with Shelly.
Right. Right. That's what I think they will do.
We say what a bam bam, what a bangarang, what all us a tumble over Eugene.
It is going to be, and Ray said it the other day. Ray said it that we're going to have problems. But I think they're possibly going to run the same team like they run last year. So I don't want Elaine on that back stretch though. I would prefer to have Sharika on the back stretch and have Elaine Now that I'm seeing Elaine's weakness, I don't want her to anchor either. So, Brianna to Sharika to Elaine to Shelly. World record. Yeah.
Remember, the guru is in Eugene, Oregon. Sharika Coach is a part of the contingent in Eugene, Oregon. What a bam bam. What a atta claps.
But I
What
think
a
that's how they'll
clap.
have to do it because the back stretch is the longest leg.
No. I don't have a problem with that
So
order.
they
You know?
and Elaine is notoriously not good or not necessarily good on the back stretch,
No, I
right?
don't have a problem with that order. Nia, Sharika must go on the second leg. You cannot put Shelly
I don't
on the
want
second
Sharika
leg.
on anchor. Me no
You cannot.
want
No,
Sharika
number
on
one. No,
anchor.
but Nia says Brianna, Shelly, Elaine, Sharika. Sharika needs to go on the second leg. Sharika needs not to anchor. It better
No Sharika on anchor. No.
you go put Dr. Shelley and Fraser Price, the world champion, the reigning, the defending, how much in time, reigning now world champion, on the anchor. The speed
Shelly's
training.
gonna get that glory leg. Without a doubt. She's gonna get that glory leg. It's
And
gonna
if she
be
do gets it, she deserve it.
the only difference or the only change or that I think or where the problem will come is that second and third leg. That is where it's gonna come. Because we know Brenna is gonna start.
And then
We
and then also on another note, if it is that we're gonna put we have to match up if we have to match up his speed like them. We have to match up the speed leg, meaning the foot leg, the footwork in terms of people. Remember, we have a 10-5. All right, let me not call 10-5 because
them
10-5.
probably work it out already if it's true because them nice if it's true make them nice in front of the camera.
And I didn't find it to be nice. Don't knock me for this, but this is my
It's
observation.
public relations. Public relations.
No, but this is my observation. When I saw somebody posted it, that and I can't even share that post to what somebody posted. The person say, "Elena enough up in our body, in ourselves, in a them to be
Yeah, there was an effort by Elaine to really put
to go
herself in the
the
group.
extra man
Yeah,
because she hugged the winner. She hugged also Sharika. She came back and hugged Shelly again and went back, let down over Sharika. There was that effort.
and,
I
she,
did
and Shelly only get flag fishy and Sharika alone. Me did see that too. She only get flag for Elaine go there and take one eye flag and she hold on panny. But anyway, that's Shelly.
Nia, what you mean by
We love
in
them.
training? Nia, in training, you where you did there? You did over Oregon there?
It's it,
Said
it's pu- it's public relations. Lati, I think we'll have to go.
we have to go because I got people them work in the morning. But it was great. It was great.
Big up to Shelly. Big up
Big
to
up to
Elaine.
Shelly.
Big
Big
up
up
to
to
Sharika.
Sharika Jacko
But
Jackson.
Elaine
We love
until
to
me
see them.
dead. Not care
You
when
not check
nobody
the price
wants
of
it.
rice. Oh, Nia,
And
you have link. Me have link to baby. Me have to go
and
check something there. But
until
that's
until
can be
the
the order
doors
for now because
part.
everybody needs to learn to receive and give back. So big up
Big up brand Jamaica.
black, green, and gold, nationalist all the way.
Yep.
So
True patriot.
until tomorrow, we will be back. Enjoy yourself. Good morning, good evening, good night, and thank you for being a part of us here at Track and Feelings. We are happy to be your analyst. We are happy to be with you, and
Put
we're
bag
also
over my head for
eh?
somebody else if you put bag over my head. Put bag over my head for I stand by what I said and I still stand by it. I fit Elaine can't be beaten. And it's clear that she isn't fit. So take that and put it in your pipe and smoke it. Have a good night.
how we are over here. We just do things in fun and just relax and be ourselves. So have yourself a good night. It was great serving you all for 3 days, morning and evening. And now we're moving into day number 4, and day number 4 starts only in the evening session. If my memory serves me well. So have yourself a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. If you are on the road, travel safe, get home safely, and continue. If you are home, drink some water and mind your own business. It is great being here, and it was lovely. Catch you tomorrow, same time, when we do it again. Enjoy. Thank you. Wilbert, who changed you now? You're welcome. Good night, Rohan. Thank you, Nadine, darling. Good night, Dave. Bye bye, everybody.